Today I will talk about the Kibana dashboard we have and what information can be found here and what information can be useful for network administrators to find the problems they have and to find the network issues. First we have the coordinate map, and this map is just shows the geographical location of the IP addresses, which IP addresses are participating in our tests. You can see the IP addresses from United States, they are from different countries, from United Kingdom, from Georgia, and other cities and countries. Next we have the drop down bar, and this drop down bar is just a filter. From here you can select different test types you are interested in. You can select DNS test for example, and you can even combine the different options. You can select 2 or more options, and when you click the apply changes button, the whole dashboard will change and you will see the graphs for selected options. So now we see the only the HTTP and DNS test types, and only for VLAN 33 and VLAN 45. Clear the form. Next we have DNS measurement graphs. This graph shows the DNS response time measurement, and it displays, the first graph displays the information in each block. It contains information for each VLAN. First block corresponds to VLAN 232, and other blocks are for other VLANs. We have tested several DNS servers. This green line is for some public DNS server. The next green line is for Google's public DNS server, and other ones are for CNaaS internal DNS servers. The tests made from VLAN 47, the DNS tests made from VLAN 47 are displayed at this block. The left graph is made for the same purpose, but it contains the data of all VLANs combined together and represented in one visualization. So no VLAN information is considered when building this graph. It doesn't contain the VLAN tags. It's an aggregation of the all DNS tests, but for different DNS servers. This chart is also shows the response time of DNS servers, but in bar chart type. Different colors correspond to different VLANs. You can see that VLAN 232 has the highest response time for all DNS servers. This green column corresponds to VLAN 232. First 4 columns are for Google's DNS server, these 4 columns. Next 4 columns are for CNaaS internal DNS server, and others for other 2 DNS servers. Next we have top 5 sites are displayed here. These 5 sites, these are the top sites which are participating in HTTP measurements in our network. If you click on one of them, the whole dashboard will change and the dashboard will display the information only for that particular site. Clear the filters. In the similar way, you can click on DNS server you are interested in. Let's click on one of them, and the whole dashboard will display the information only for, in this example, for the Google's public DNS server. So the top HTTP sites and the top DNS servers are displayed here. This figure shows the average packet loss of all the round-trip time test types, and in other words, it indicates the percentage of the packets that we have not responded to ICMP requests. In case if this value goes beyond 1, if average packet loss will increase to 1, it will indicate the warning state. Next two graphs, this and this. These two graphs demonstrate HTTP measurement results. You can also apply the filter by clicking on one of the websites here. So all the websites are shown here. Here we have all the websites we have tested. As this visualization at the left axis, the result time is displayed at this axis, and at the right axis, the response time of each test is displayed at the right side. The pie chart here is for HTTP tests as well, each block for each wheel. For example, HTTP tests of twitter.com. If we click here, we will see the HTTP tests only for twitter.com. For example, twitter.com mainly was responding with the 200 status code. This red circle is for 200 status code, and you can see that at some point twitter.com was responding also with the 400 status code. This can be useful when you monitoring some website on your network. Here is the total number of all the tests we have in our network. Next one is the traceroute probe chart to different destinations. It shows the hop count to certain websites. As an example, this line shows the hop count to the yahoo.com website. You can see that at the beginning the hop count from our network to yahoo.com was 16, then it changed to 15, then at some point it was 14, the hop count, and maybe you can assume that the maybe routing table was changing during some period of time, or you can just continue troubleshooting manually on your network and see what was happening. At the bottom we have the average round trip time by destinations. Destinations are displayed here. You can see that at the top we have also the yahoo.com website, and this the round trip time to this website also is not very stable, and it it was jumping at some period of time, jumping up and down, and maybe the network administrator could and should troubleshoot the network problems to the yahoo.com, because at the hop count graph we see that the hop count was changing at some period to the yahoo.com, and even the average round trip time was changing to yahoo.com. Next, we have the throughput test, and through these two graphs display the throughput information between different source and destinations. The first graph shows throughput tests for each VLAN in different blocks. The first block is for VLAN 45, the second block is for VLAN 33, and so on. And the bottom one also is for throughput test, but it doesn't contain the VLAN information. But on both of these graphs you can see that at some period of time the throughput was not so good in our network, and we can continue to troubleshoot manually what was happening this period of time and why we have the network problems here. And at the end, at the bottom, we have the raw data of all the tests we have done in our network. So these graphs are displayed from these raw data. And in case if you are missing something from the dashboard, you can always look at this raw data and see what you are looking for. So what can be found from our dashboard is that maybe at some period of time the VLAN 232 is not working well, because it has the highest response time for each DNS server. Also at some point we had for VLAN 232 we had some problems with bandwidth. Also the yahoo.com maybe was had the problems at some period of time, and a network administrator can continue to troubleshoot manually on their network.